Breaking news has sent shockwaves across the wrestling world because Roman Reigns has finally broken his silence on Jon Moxley's AEW betrayal, and what he said was not just a statement but an emotional outpouring that pulled the entire industry into a moment of raw vulnerability. The tribal chief, usually a man of cold authority and unshakable dominance, delivered what might be the most personal message of his career when he addressed the haunting parallels between Moxley's betrayal at the hands of the Death Riders in AEW and Seth Rollins' infamous turn on the Shield back in 2014. With his voice cracking under the weight of memory, Reigns confessed that he felt history replay itself before his eyes, describing it as watching his brother get stabbed in the back all over again. And this admission didn't sound like promo work or company-approved talk, it sounded like a man reliving trauma that has never left him. Fans and insiders alike were stunned, calling this the most genuine and real talk the industry has ever witnessed, a rare moment where kayfabe dissolved completely and the lines between character and man disappeared. In his emotional message, Reigns didn't stop at grief. He also made a vow that blood will always be blood and that the Shield bond is forever, a bond that no promotion, no betrayal, and no corporate logo could ever erase, and in doing so he transformed his words into a heartfelt tribute that had fans openly admitting to tears. He acknowledged the painful déjà vu, pointing out how Moxley's betrayal mirrored the Shield's collapse, the ambush after a moment of victory, the use of weapons once symbolizing unity now repurposed for destruction, and the look of disbelief frozen on the betrayed man's face, a look Reigns said he knew too well because he had lived it himself. Backstage sources revealed that when the footage of the Death Riders' brutal turn aired, Roman was shaken, visibly transported back to 2014, unable to hide the emotional scars still lingering from Seth's betrayal. And unlike typical polished WWE responses, he chose to speak off the cuff, pouring his feelings out as if to a brother rather than an audience. He reminded everyone of the bus rides and locker room talks where he, Seth, and Moxley built the Shield from nothing into one of wrestling's most iconic units, revealing little-known details about how they leaned on each other in life outside the ring, about fatherhood, about staying grounded in a business designed to break you, and he emphasized that those conversations mattered far more than the logos on their contracts. His tribute grew heavier when he drew direct comparisons, explaining that both Seth and the Death Riders betrayed not out of necessity but out of ambition, out of a hunger for the spotlight at the expense of loyalty. And Roman stated plainly that what they never understood is that true greatness is born from unity, not betrayal. In his most cutting reflection, he described how both Seth and the Death Riders misjudged Moxley, assuming he was nothing more than the wild, hardcore guy when in reality he is one of the most loyal and authentic men Roman has ever known. That insight stung fans deeply, revealing a side of Moxley that only a brother like Reigns could articulate. Then came the line that broke the internet. Reigns promised that no matter the company, no matter the brand wars, no matter the barriers, if his brother ever needed him, he knew where to find him, making it clear that their bond transcends corporate boundaries and fan divisions. He reminded everyone that betrayal clears out the noise and shows who truly stands with you. And he hinted strongly that this pain could forge Moxley into something even more dangerous, just as betrayal forged Reigns into the tribal chief, who dominated WWE for years. Roman's tribute crystallized into three undeniable truths. First, that the Shield's brotherhood lives on beyond companies. Second, that betrayal always follows the same cruel patterns. And third, that his bond with Moxley is still unbroken despite distance and divisions. These revelations have left the wrestling community buzzing with speculation. Could this emotional message lead to an unprecedented Shield reunion, not in WWE but across companies, united against the Death Riders? Could we actually be on the edge of cross-promotional warfare? Roman didn't confirm, but he didn't deny, and that silence has left fans hanging on every possibility. What is certain is that this story has reignited belief in the Shield's legacy and reminded the world that in an industry built on scripted betrayal, sometimes the most powerful stories are the real ones. Drop your thoughts below, smash that subscribe button, and stay locked in, because if the Shield ever rises again, this moment will be remembered as the spark that lit the fire.